there, Fredericksburg. My name is Kitty. I'm with Local FXBG, and today I am here with Jen Schaefer of the Fairy Godmother Project. In July, on the 25th, Friday, we will be hosting a 90s themed silent disco for Fairy Godmother Project. The evening events will go on from 8 to 11 and will feature 3 DJs. Again, it's a silent disco. And we're going to have raffles and a 50-50 raffle. And so I just want to have a few moments here with Jen to talk about Fairy Godmother Project and give us some of their information.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for supporting Fairy Godmother Project.
Of course. So can you kind of give us a little bit of the background of Fairy Godmother Project, kind of what you guys do?
Sure. So the background is that 2 moms, Andy Ayers and Stephanie Maurer, just saw a mom struggling and wanted to help. And that mom, when they realized why, is because a child had been diagnosed with pediatric cancer. And so they began to do, well, what can we do, right? Clean the bathrooms, do some laundry, things that I think we all think about if we have someone going through a tough time. But facing pediatric cancer is inextricably unimaginable. And from there, they kind of built what we now know as Fairy Godmother Project, FGP, which is truly easing the day-to-day burdens for families facing pediatric cancer. We're a local organization serving the counties in the city that you know, in Planning District 16, as well as Northern Neck and North Orange. And so those daily burdens like the meals and transportation cost and house cleaning and lawn maintenance and things that are attached to the car maintenance, things like that, are just, so helpful to these families, and we're so proud to do it.
That's amazing. I totally understand that. Actually, the first time I ever heard of you, a friend of mine was actually going through FGP with their daughter. So I learned about you a while ago. How long has the organization been around?
So, it's been around since 2012. I think, Andy and Stephanie definitely saw that need and kind of worked toward getting it a 501c3 2013. But yeah, it's been around. It's a pretty remarkable thing that this organization has been doing what they've been doing, and we've been doing what we've been doing for this length of time for something so specific, right?
No, that's amazing, because, there's tons of organizations that will help with medical bills and things like that, but to those little things like helping the family get to and from the hospital, giving them meals so they don't have to worry about taking the time for it, helping them clean their house, that's amazing. I know we were at your Stardust Ball. It was a great time, wonderful. I love that you guys raised so much money for these things, to help these families, and it's so important. How did you actually get involved with FGP?
It's a really good question. So I was a higher education administrator for like 23 years. I'm a ovarian breast cancer survivor. My cancer returned. It just seemed like the right thing to come back to Fredericksburg. My life started here in Fredericksburg with my husband back in the 90s. And so I was really fortunate to kind of work in a peripheral way with Fairy Godmother Project when I worked in adult oncology, because I had a new calling, right? And so I started to work Regional Cancer Center, and I built an integrative medicine program. And so it was nice that if we could provide, say, information or services, yoga, massage, Reiki, those types of things. That's how I came to know about the organization. And then I decided to go back to school. I'm working on my PhD in community engagement. And when this position popped up last September, August, September, it was kind of a no-brainer, because I did know the organization. I knew how fantastic of a group they were. And so I had to go for it.
Fantastic. I love that. Truly do have a passion for that. I love hearing about your background with all of that and how you got involved. So let me ask you this. As far as FGP is concerned, how do you guys raise your funds? Is it more community-based funding, federal funding, grants, things like that?
No federal funding comes to our organization. That is not something that we do, and we are pretty close to 100% local. That is local individuals, groups, your donors, your sponsors. You mentioned Stardust Ball, and that's a really good anchor when you think about something like that large event happening. That's going to happen because of what I like to call local love. It's not possible without every little bit and piece of an individual, a volunteer, a business, our partners who are also nonprofit organizations, the vendors that we use, the venue that we use, and that then transcends for the rest of the year when we do smaller events, smaller fundraisers. I have definitely been doing a lot of grant writing as well, and sometimes there's going to maybe be a national link to that, but pretty close to 100%. This is a local, phenomenal grassroots organization.
Yeah, being at the ball it was really nice to see like the whole community come together the way they did and support your cause. Again, I can't say enough what an amazing cause it is.
Thank you.
Really does speak to me personally. Like I said, I've known a lot of people who have dealt with pediatric cancer, and I just can't even imagine how tough it is to deal with that, just even thinking just on the medical side, but the support you give the families is just, I can't say enough about it.
Well, thank you. Well, we always, we make sure to, every organization out there is doing phenomenal things. Pediatric cancer is inherently rare. So your clinical research, the things that are raising money for those things, where it's a medical trial. Like you said, there's some organizations that'll just focus on, maybe assistance with medical or assistance. I think when you do something as unique as this, or like even like your Make-A-Wish, or, it's something that'll focus on the child, that all those things are very valuable, wonderful. This organization is really focusing on sitting down with the person who's identified as the primary caregiver for that child, and of course, usually also other siblings. What is it that you need? And we're not going to tell you what you need. We're going to listen to you. It's your voice. It's your needs. And so, as the years have gone along, those things that started with like a meal and a house clean, that's how all of a sudden we have the relationship with AAA for roadside assistance, or YMCA for the things that are your spiritual, mental, physical well-being, and then also working and creating different funds for crisis. You're already paying. You're going through life and you're doing your things, right? Mortgage, utilities, whatever, and then these things come, and the medical costs associated is truly unimaginable.
Yeah. So I do have to say, one of the aspects that I really like about FGP, I learned recently, is that you don't have a timeline with your families, that
Correct.
you actually support them until they tell you, hey,
Correct.
we don't need you guys anymore.
Right.
And I love that. Because
Right.
a lot of support tends to have a timeline, or hey, this is our end date.
Right. You're enrolled in this for X amount of time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is another cornerstone. When someone said, what makes FGP unique, I say, the focus on the primary caregiver, and then we walk the walk from diagnosis, active treatment, remission, survivorship, end-of-life care, bereavement, and understand that, of course, during that active treatment remission time, the relapse is real. It happens. And so we are with them every step of the way, from the moment they come to us and discuss, being part of the organization, and like you said, to the moment they say, I'm good, thank you. Or maybe it's they've moved away, or, something that has made what we do that much more important. It's always important, but, we have families that are now in active treatment longer. The way that those clinical research trials and things have gone, the average that a child was in treatment for most pediatric cancers is about 15 months. Now it's 28 months. So to your point, now more than ever, right? We're walking that walk with them more than ever, because they do have those needs. So it's a very unique aspect that we don't have this, cut off. That each thing that they're going through in their journey, we have something for them to consider if they want to participate in it.
Yeah, okay. So for anybody in Fredericksburg or surrounding areas that's listening, what kind of support are you guys looking for as an organization?
It's interesting, because a lot of times people will say, well, there's not much I can do. Well, there absolutely is. If you're an individual, there's a variety of different volunteer opportunities that you can connect with us. And by the way, fgpinfo.org, really simple. Go on, do the volunteer application, look at our volunteer video. And so on the individual level, there could be like the events that we have that they could volunteer at. I really appreciate that you like the Stardust Ball. That would not have been made possible without our huge group of volunteers making that possible. And then groups are the whether it's the the churches, the schools, the businesses, the other local nonprofits will say, you know, can we adopt a family? We have that community care package. That's wonderful, so that, you know, we always have them be remembered, right? And then, of course, some of the businesses will participate as being sponsors for our events as well. So Kickin' for Kellen is coming up. It's the second annual Kickin' for Kellen, June 21st. That's all possible because of people signing up. You know, we'd love to have, you know, 200 walker runners. It's at Pratt Park. But then also the volunteers that help in that group. So we look for assistance on all levels, right? Whether that person is bringing a bag of groceries to help us with meal making, to those businesses that have helped us be, say, you know, our core sponsors for Stardust Ball. And also, too, it's really cool when somebody presents an idea to us.
Yeah.
Hey, I make this. Can I, you know, we have people that knit us blankets, and it's, you know, like when they bring us an idea, that's exciting, too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, you talked about Kickin' for Kellen coming up. That's June 21st at Pratt Park. Go to FGP's website for more information about signing up for that. It is a 5K from what I understand.
Yeah, it's a
walk, run.
Yeah, it's like a 6.2 to honor Kellen Moran, who passed away at the age of 6. And the family, you know, this is something that is what brings me such humbleness and awe, right? That 4 of our events are based on families who have created that in honor and in memory of their children. And so it's very special. So that's our next one. And if you go to our website and see our calendar upcoming events, then you'll see in August we have the Kaylee Leahy blood donor. You know, blood services is huge for pediatric cancer. You know, they need access. And then obviously we have our silent disco on July 25th, but you can see where we just have so many opportunities for people to participate and be part of the helping of the raising of funds to make this possible for our families, as well as volunteer or be a sponsor.
Awesome. I really do truly love your organization.
Thank you.
Like
I love it too.
I learned about it years ago, and just in getting into the nonprofit world myself, and supporting you through like the Downtown Dolls,
absolutely.
and then of course coming to the Stardust Ball. I am going to be at that race on the 21st, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward though to the silent disco.
Yes.
It is going to be at the Griffin at 911 Charles Street, again on Friday, July 25th. We're going to be having a silent auction. We're going to have 50-50 raffle, 3 DJs set up for a 90s theme night. So don't miss out, and check out for tickets at Go Local FXBG website or Facebook page. And go ahead if you have any more information about where we can find you and get in touch with you on any ideas or events that you have coming up.
So definitely, our website is the one that you're going to see so much of the information and those links to register, you know, sponsor, what have you. But our Facebook, our Instagram, we're always out there. We're always helping people to remember, you know, our Stargazer families, research information. We just want to continue to raise awareness. We want to continue to raise funds to deliver our programs, and always looking for new people to help out.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Fredericksburg, so much, and we hope to see you on July 25th for our 90s theme silent disco in honor of Fairy Godmother Project, and we will see you later.